Okay, great. Hello.
Oh, I can't see you anymore, but I can see the countdown.
Good. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Um, oops. Okay, so in the beginning we'll just do intro like, hey, how are you doing? And then uh refer to comments, refer to questions, and then just goodbye at the end.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We'll do a time check.
Okay. Okay, I'm checking our channel to see, or my channel to see. Or my channel to see. Oh, we're actually I can hear the audio.
Oh,
Hi, Miss Marilyn, darling.
wait. Oh, is there a chat?
There is a chat and they can hear us right now.
Oh, wait, I can't see it. It-
Well, hi everybody. We are doing this for the first time and playing around with the 2-minute intro. We will see you soon. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Always something new to learn.
Okay, and it says we have an echo. Okay, so I will turn off my YouTube app here. Okay, we're live. That is so funny.
Never a
Oh,
dull moment.
I know. Miss Marilyn, can you hear us now? And is there echo?
Oh, I see the chat now.
Okay, you can see the chat. Good.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Heather E is here. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Miss Marilyn, darling. Hi, Emily.
Emily is here.
I
Hi.
love I love that we were broadcasting.
Ah,
This
oh
is
my
how
God.
this is how rusty we are.
Well, we've never done a 2-minute intro, and I thought it would be all not sleazy, snazzy.
Yes.
I thought it would be snazzy.
I
And
know, I was
just,
wondering. I was
yeah.
wondering about the countdown.
Well, now we know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is the point of the countdown then? If
Well, I mean, we sh I guess during that time we should have just turned off audio or turned off our mics. But
Oh, I
you
see.
know what? Yeah, because I think I've seen in other live streams with the countdown, you'll have music and, our voices will be offline. So anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Marilyn. It says that we have videos going on both of the channels.
Oh, it's to allow people to come. Oh, cool. It's kind of like the um well, exactly what Miss Marilyn Darling said. Come in, chit chat, get ready, grab your snacks.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which I don't have today, but
Oh my gosh. How fun though. Man, okay. I bet we can replay this live stream later on and just hear our conversation.
I know. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh my gosh, I
All
love it.
right.
I love it.
Okay, well, we are going to try to keep this to an hour. No, we not try. We are going to keep this to an hour. So
Mhm.
let's get right into it. Just want to respect everyone's time. Only just by a few seconds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining at all, Heather. Yeah, we know it's kind of in the middle of the workday for everyone,
Mhm.
majority, unless you're in a completely different time zone. So really appreciate that you're even tuning in. Um, and we don't have a lot to show, so the audio should be sufficient,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, we understand. We want to respect everyone's time, and so it's like let's make the most out of the 1 hour that we have together.
Mhm.
Um, so I think how we're just gonna. I mean, if you were here right at the get go at 10 a.m. Pacific time, you would have heard my brief rough outline. So we're just gonna respond to comments. we want to have this sort of, conversation with what all the lovely comments that we've received on Patreon, YouTube, our posts and videos. So we want to respond to that. Also, then we'll just get into answering questions that people have posted related to the Artist's Way. We're going to talk about our reflections, like how did the Artist's Way go for us? And we'll ask each other questions. And then if anybody of you in the chat have questions for us, please leave them and we'll respond to them as well. And I think how we wanted to respond to the chat is Allison and I had talked about we're going to have a conversation, and then every 5 minutes or so, I think Allison was going to make an announcement or just to pause our conversation to look at the chat and then respond to all the comments at that point. Because I think maybe for Allison, I think for Allison as well, but I'll speak for myself is that, it's hard. It's hard to have this conversation and then notice all the other conversations that are happening on the side. And so I felt like I would lose my train of thought so that I could respond to people in the comments. But so this will be like an opportunity for Allison and I to be present in the conversation that we're having vis-a-vis, and then also then to respond to the chat as well. So it's a little bit more structured for all of us. Yeah. Anything you wanted to add, Allison?
No, I think that's it. We're just really excited to be doing this live, and we're trying our best to make sure that we can include everybody in the conversation, but also I think I hope I can speak for both of us. Our ADHD kind of came out and reared its ugly head last time. So we were just brainstorming on ways that we could try to stay in the moment and stay focused, but also continue to include all of you in the conversation. So we're just going to give this format a try, and we would love your feedback to let us know how it feels for you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I would just, if it's okay, I would just like to say we missed you all. So yeah, I can't believe it has been, I actually don't know how many weeks. How many weeks has it been?
Has
A
it been
month?
4 weeks? Yeah, it might have been a month. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been a long time. It has been so long, and it's almost like once we finish the Artist's Way, and not having the weekly check-ins, it was like everything just came to a complete halt, or everything just there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
And at least for myself, I so appreciate everyone's just flexibility, and even for you, Allison, too, because the reason why we rushed everything and had to the reason why we had pre-recorded our last conversation for week 12 and all of that is because I was actually out of the country for almost 3 weeks, like 2.5 weeks. And so I was gearing up for international travel, and then was in Korea, and I got to spend one night in Tokyo, which is so much fun. And I'll definitely post a video about my travels. But yeah, I was gone. And then, of course, for those of you who have done any sort of international travel, the jet lag is real. So I've been back now for almost 2 weeks, but I'm still feeling the dregs of jet lag. So you haven't seen any postings, any videos from me in the past 2 months. I've just been offline, and so for me psychologically, I do feel so distant from our Artist's Way, because just a month ago, Allison, you and I, and for those of you who have been joining us on Patreon and also on YouTube, following along on the Artist's Way, from doing that weekly and being so immersed in it, oh my gosh, it was such a absence. I noticed the halt.
I
From
noticed it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, can't wait to
Mhm.
hear about your trip, first of all. That's amazing that you were able to go. And I felt the void. I think the first Monday, because we normally would meet on Mondays to do a recording. I was like, what do I do with this chunk of time that I had set aside? And anyway, I guess we'll get into it because we do have a question about what it's been like since. But Yeah, what an what an eventful summer.
Yeah. Yeah. So eventful. Every week, every day with the Artist's Way, it's like we had like this magnifying glass to just examine our lives and
Mhm.
to pay attention to our inner child, our inner creative self
Mhm.
every day. It
Yeah.
was very busy. On top of our own personal lives, it was very full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot has happened since then. Um, I also just wanna say a quick hello to OBG. Thank you for joining in,
Hello.
and okay, um, how about we do some responses? Because one thing we did say in our recordings was that we wanted to catch up with everyone and reconvene at this live stream. So we have been reviewing the comments that we received. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us on Patreon. Um, I don't know if we have a specific order. And if you see my eyes darting over here, I'm just looking at the screen,
Mhm.
my second screen. And if you hear that in the background, that's my dog. I don't know if you can hear Coconut.
So cute.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we get started on do you, do
Sure.
you want to get started?
Yeah, sure. Forgive me for my lack of responding. That's definitely on me, but it doesn't mean Coconut joins me on my
Hold
no,
on a second. I'm really sorry.
no,
One moment.
it's okay. But I did want to say I read the comments, and so I just wanted to revisit from week 11. Home to Heather had responded by just sharing some amazing resources, and we'll share them in the description box of this video after the live stream is over. But the first thing that she mentioned was Uppercase Magazine. I don't know if y'all have heard of that magazine. She says they say that it's quarterly, and all the pages are matte, not glossy. So they're perfect for junk journaling or collaging, which is something that I really want to get into. My YouTube feed has so much content about junk journaling. So I'm really excited about that. They also mentioned that they are writing their first novel.
When I saw that, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, she had written all of this, and then there was one little blip of like, I'm writing my first novel. It's a little scary. But I just thought, "Oh my goodness, they put it out into the universe, and, it's really exciting." It's scary to put it out there, to put it out to put it out there publicly,
Hmm.
but that's really exciting for Home to Heather. Yeah.
Yeah, so exciting. And I think Home to Heather also mentioned doing an office makeover first, which also is very exciting. So it sounds like just two really big, like you're setting up. It reminds me, Leanne, of when you were sort of setting up and rearranging your space so that
Completely.
you could clear, or I guess create space to then do the next thing that you wanted to do. So I love the idea of like the scaffolding and the, curating and then being able to then work on the thing that you're actually really passionate about. So, yes, thank you for sharing that with us. And if you ever want to share more details, we will cheer you on. We'd love to hear more about that as time goes on, but congratulations on kicking off that journey.
Mhm. Yeah. I even have some follow-up questions. Home to Heather, if you are watching this, I would love to hear how long this novel and like the theme or just the ideas behind this novel, like how long it's been in your mind and how long you've been kind of carrying this dream. So anyway, can't wait to hear more about it. Um, Also, I just saw Hope is here. Hi, Hope. Hope Murray. So good to see you. Thanks for
Hi,
joining.
Hope.
Also, Nancy had left a comment, just lovely words of encouragement, and just talked about wanting to meet up. If there was ever an opportunity for us to meet up, like they would do their best to show up. And I think that is such a great idea. Nancy also asked if either of us would be at the San Francisco Pen Show. Unfortunately for me, I I mean, out of international travel and timing of it all, I wasn't able to go this year, but I wasn't there this year. Yeah. How about you, Allison?
I wasn't able to go, but it's on the list. I would love to go someday. I hear it's very busy, but the only pen show that I've ever been to is Scriptus, which is in Toronto. So I would love to experience like a really large pen show in the future. So I love the idea. Leanne and I have talked about this a lot of meeting in person if there's ever an opportunity. So yeah, let's manifest it. We would love to do it someday.
It would be so amazing to to see people in real life, people that we've been journeying together virtually. So yeah, Nancy, thank you for putting that out there. And I am with Allison too. We'll just like manifest this future meetup. Yeah.
And Nancy also left a message in our community chat, just saying that Nancy wouldn't be able to join us for the live stream, but just sent us a really nice note and kind of congratulate us for finishing it. And yeah, we just really appreciate your kind words. Just double checking and mentioned that Nancy would continue on with the book It's Never Too Late to Begin Again, and is celebrating a special birthday soon, and also, wow, is retiring in May. So lots of big changes, lots of new beginnings. I'm not familiar with this book. Is this another Julia Cameron book?
What's the title of the book?
It's Never Too Late to Begin Again.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
we'll have to look into it.
I know. Amazing. And then also, Heather E talked about shopping in their craft closet. And that also reminded me of you,
Love.
Alice, how you created your own in-person stationery store in your office. And Heather E had created their own little store in their home as well. And out of their 30 notebooks, where I'm like, I am with you, Heather. I have so many notebooks,
I
but
don't
then
even want to count.
I know I don't think I want my notebook collection. I don't know if I want to count either, but just to have it all neatly organized. There's something really special about accounting for every item that you have and
Mhm.
curating them in such a way visually that it sparks some of that dopamine. I think it also sparks a sort of like, I don't know, you just have an appreciation for some of your analog items that, at least for me, sometimes I just like have them in a stack somewhere and it's tucked away. But to really think of it as a place to go to. I mean, I thought that was really special to hear that from Heather E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just wanted to say hello to Anna or Anna. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Yeah, meeting people from the stationery family is wonderful, and we really hope that you can join us sometime in the future. And then Miss Marilyn Darling also doesn't want to count their notebooks. I think that was what the response was for. And then Heather also said, need to sell stuff from the craft closet. Yes, I hear you. I tried to avoid putting things into my stationery store that I didn't want there. So I do have like a separate pile of things that I intend to sell or donate or give away in a buy nothing group, but it's still in a pile. It's all still with me. So that's definitely something that I need to do at some point.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Any other comments that you wanted to respond to?
Yes, I have one more open. Home to Heather said in one of my in the week 12 that the Leonardo that you shared
Oh,
has her
mhm.
heart, and actually had one in her cart for a few weeks but never ended up getting it. So how is the beautiful pen? Can we see a glimpse of it
Yeah, of course.
so we can all
It's
admire it instead? Oh,
oh, there we go.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah. I really, really love it. I really love it. I'm really happy I got this. Um, it's inked with Tatcha Ruri. Ruri?
Oh, is that a blue?
It's a blue, and you know what? It's somebody I think it's in Patreon. Oh my goodness, I can't believe, I don't remember this right now, but somebody had commented, saying, "Hey, you need to try Tatcha Ruri, Ruri." And so I got a small sample of it and I have it inked in this pen and I really love it. It's like an indigo blue with a little bit of sheen. It reminds me of the way that Tatcha Sabi Midori kind of behaves, where it's saturated and that's teal with a little bit of sheen. So it's
Mhm.
like that, but it's indigo. Anyway, love
Beautiful.
it, love it, love it. Yeah.
I love pens like that that have, like I don't know what it's called, like the swirls, but they're neutral colors, and then putting like a beautiful blue. I think that I don't know. There's something about the contrast there that I really love. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think for you, Allison, loving blue ink, I mean, it comes as no surprise,
True.
but yeah, I think you would really enjoy Ruri. Yeah, it's not as bright blue as like maybe it's definitely not bright blue. It's darker than Konpeki, but it's really pretty.
Okay,
Um,
I'll have to add it to my list. I
yeah.
I do have a lot of blue. I have a lot of blue ink, but
Mhm.
you could never go wrong with an extra sample.
No, not at all. I wanted to respond quickly. Miss Marilyn Darling had mentioned that they took themselves out on a big date. They went to the Los Angeles National History Museum and the Science Center.
Wow.
Yeah. Um,
Nice artist date.
I I've never been. I've never been to the Los Angeles Natural History Museum, but I'm all about natural history, you know. So anyway, that sounds amazing. Hope you had an amazing time. It sounds like you really did. So yeah, I would love to be able to go on an excursion. I think,
Yeah.
or at least I think the closest venue for me would be the Burke Museum in Seattle. I think they are a natural history museum. So yeah.
I
Oh, it's a
don't know. We have the Royal Ontario Museum.
mhm.
I don't know if that's a natural history or maybe it's just a general museum,
Mhm.
but yes, I feel inspired to go because they're right there. And
Mhm.
it sounds like such a lovely date. It's a dinosaur museum. Oh, that's really cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Let's see. Shall we go to questions about the artist way and just reflecting, answering some questions about that?
Let's do it.
Okay. Uh, let's see. The first question that I have is from Moonlit Journal. They had asked, well, first of all, what they said was, "How exciting! Congrats to you both on finishing the artist way together. Looking forward to hearing reflections." And their question is, "What is the most unexpected change you've noticed in yourself or your life since starting the artist's way?"
Do you want me to go first? Or
If
do
you
you want to go?
have a response, sure.
I think I don't know if this is I'll just say the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw this question,
Mhm.
and it was that um it was like I just the time to completing things on my ever growing to-do list shortened. So, I don't know, there were just a lot of things that were sitting around and um they were actually getting done, if that makes sense. Like I'll share some more examples. I think I mentioned in previous weeks that little things like mending buttons, like that was, the small thing where I'd had these articles of clothing that just needed really small tweaks to, and I just put it off for years. And then it was almost like a snowball effect where then I started like I'm looking up at a light that I finally mounted on my wall after it just collected dust, or I I don't know, it was all these little things that I had kind of had in this mental list of like, oh, I'd like to do that when I have time, but I never made time. And then the biggest thing that I did, which I'm really proud of, is I took a pottery class. That was something that I had mentioned that I had wanted to do, and it was something that I had wanted to do pre 2020, if you know what I mean. And I don't know, I would always find something else to do instead, or I just wouldn't get around to it. But I just finally did it. And every time I would complete something, I would just think, like, what took me so long? But I also recognize that I I tend to do that anyway. Um, I don't know, it just seemed like I was getting things done that were more not related to work. Maybe that's what it is. I'm sort of thinking aloud. I don't know. Yeah, that was the first thing. So in terms of how things have changed, I think it's just that I'm I'm I don't want to use the word productive necessarily, because I don't necessarily think it's just about being productive, but it's yeah, just actually like taking action, maybe.
Mhm, mhm.
Maybe it's about taking action more quickly than I would. I would overthink something, or I would just talk myself out of it or come up with excuses, but I feel like I'm doing that.
Well, it reminds me, what came to mind was, the idea of, like, distraction and then the opposite of distraction. Well, just taking off the disc is then traction. So I'm thinking, yeah, not yeah, I know how you're saying it's not that I was being more productive, but, you were being motivated to go, I don't know, into action. So then from distraction to traction a little bit of like, okay, well, there are some important things that I've just kind of had to the side. And it helps that with the artist's way, that there was that one chapter talking about an idea to kind of tend to some of those proximate responsibilities that we've kind of set to the side. And one of them was like mend clothes,
Mhm.
and I think having that come to mind or be called to mind was a nice, visual reminder.
Mhm.
Over the 12 weeks, I did also mend some clothes. I've had these clothes kinda collecting on a hanger.
Mhm.
Finally, I think, like a couple weeks ago, actually, when we just got back, I just started mending them, and so now it feels so gratifying to have it all taken.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, you can wear the clothes again, you can use the bag again, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how long you will let, or not you, me. It's amazing how long I will settle for something. Like I had a jacket that the zipper broke within the first month that I got it, and I still wear that jacket today, and it's been years, and it took it took like, I want to say, over 10 years before I finally took it to someone to replace the zipper. So instead of like just getting that done within the first month, maybe I could have even have gone to the store and had it replaced. I just lived with this malfunctioning zipper for so long, and I think that is, I mean, I don't know. Let's see how I am in 6 months to a year when we've had more distance from the artist way. But that has seemed to continue in that I'm in some ways not letting things like just sit for
Mm,
as long.
mhm, mm, mhm. Yeah. Well, I mean, for myself, I think the most unexpected thing is just experiencing so much more change than I anticipated. I thought that the sort of changes that I would experience would be, a little bit more abstract or not as so concrete and practical. uh, I thought it would be more about my relationship with my creative self, a little bit more internal, a little bit more like therapeutic in that way.
Hmm.
But it was so tactile and real, like with actual items. For example, I think, the last quarter of the Artist's Way, I really, or maybe even starting at the midway point, I started actively purging and throwing
I
things away,
remember.
right? And starting to organize my life in such a way that I was paying attention to my creative self. Because for a long time, for as long as I can remember, probably, she has been living on the periphery of my life. And I've been ordering my life around, or maybe orbiting around others. Not to say that I always orbit around others, but I think living, I mean, with family, living with close, or being in close proximity with dear friends, there is a sort of, like accommodation, or there is a sort of like being with someone requires you both to make some sort of compromises to go together.
Mhm.
And so I guess what happened was just so much abrupt shifting. I mean, now what I've done, I mean, I did a lot of purging of old clothes and things have just been laying in the home for a decade now, that I finally started actively purging, and that feels really good. And I'm still doing that now.
Mm.
Uh, I've now created, at least with YouTube, it was kind of when I started it a few years ago, it was like a whisper into just putting something out there in the YouTube universe to just offer my own lens and my own voice. But I think over the 12 weeks now, I feel even more committed to making that more of an active voice versus just a suggestion or a whisper or a video every now and then, because I want to be more committed. I want to be more committed. And so I've created a little studio in my basement.
That's amazing.
And before, as you might know, I mean, I have this coffee table that I do all of my videos on, but it's in the living room. So then when it's all weather dependent, because I only use the sun, or the natural light, but it's all weather dependent. It's also schedule dependent on my life, kids' schedules, dinner time. Can't be doing it during dinner or after hours because I don't want to wake people up. But now I have a studio. I've dedicated a space in the basement where I have now a light fixture. So there's just so much reorganizing that is so
Mm.
practical day to day, that is almost like living proof of the commitment that I'm making to nurture that relationship with my creative self. So,
That's amazing. It's like you've really committed to a long-term relationship
yeah.
with your creative self, and you've created space in your home to let her move in.
Oh my god.
Like you've designed a space that is meant to allow her to thrive and to
Yeah.
yeah.
It's official. She's moving in.
Yeah. She's here to stay.
Here to stay. She was always a visitor, and only if I had a moment of time. But now it's like, no, you have a home here, you have a room, and let's create. So,
Yeah, you had to reorganize some things and you had to purge a lot of
mhm,
stuff just to make space for her, but now it's like you've declared it. There's no like when there's time, I'll let her over or I'll.
mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
that's amazing. Okay, well that is when we talk transformation, I think we need to remember this as a really concrete example.
mhm. Yeah.
I wanted to add, as you were saying this about your relationship with your creative self and being more bold about letting her move in and I don't know, concretizing. I love that word that you used.
Mhm,
It kind of this is another thing that I'm wondering if you're noticing as well is um, I have been noticing that I've been a little louder, a little more. Um, when you mentioned whisper, it was. I feel like I feel also like I've been kind of whispering in some ways, just a little bit I don't know what the word is, a little fearful of putting myself out there. And since we've been doing the artist way, I have been feeling a little more like, even if no one wants to listen, I still want to say things, or I still want to share some of the things that I'm working on. So um even on in my Patreon, like I've been sharing a few more things that I've been hoping to do. Like I shared some stickers that I had kind of been working on. Well, I made them a while ago, but I revamped them, and I hope that that will lead to me maybe creating more. Mostly because I'm just really enjoying it. I'm starting a new series on my Patreon with journal, like around finishing my Japan journal. And I will say, even now, as I'm saying it, it's still hard. It's like I may have let her in, but I'm still figuring out the outspoken. Thank you, Miss Marilyn, darling. I'm trying, and I'll say that the artist way has kind of given me a little more um like a nudge to do so, but I wouldn't say that I'm so comfortable with it that I don't second guess everything I'm doing, or the sensor isn't still there. So I feel that this has been a really great starting point, but I also feel like um, 12 weeks isn't necessarily long enough to completely change everything about yourself. It's like we're kind of officially in the next phase or in the new beginnings, and I'm seeing myself wanting to put myself out there more, but I'm still terrified. And I don't know, something I'll have to work through, but I don't know how you feel about that. Like, even though you've made the space, you've let her move in, like how are you feeling about all of that?
Well, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. As you're saying that, it reminds me of like just the active, um, just the active decision to drop anchor, or like to reorient, to go in a different direction. But then also it is the ongoing relationship that we have with these different parts of ourselves. So yeah, I think now is not that now is a hard part. I think committing to the 12 weeks was hard. I don't
Mm,
think it was easy. It required a lot of sacrifice, I think, for both of us. And I think for anybody, whenever, even on YouTube, if I see folks who finish the 12 weeks and they're talking about the reflections, I have so much admiration for them, because it required so much energy
mhm,
um, for us to do this. And we had each other we had each other and our community to keep us accountable. But imagine for those who just kind of did it. Anyway, that's one thing. But like it introduces us, or we're reintroduced to our creative selves, and that already is huge. But I understand now, it's like, okay, well, now I'm getting louder, I have this courage within me. How am I going to listen to it? How am I going to be in a new loving relationship with this creative self? Or now
mm,
that I know that I have this creative self and I'm wanting this part to be louder, I also understand that I have this inner critic that might want to chime in a little bit more loudly and be a little bit more emphatic. So it's like, okay, well, we have these different parts of ourselves that I don't think we ever will ever go away. Because I've even seen some reflection videos from those who are a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and a little bit further along in their journey, and they still talk about their inner critic. So I think it is that art and the practice of being in a loving relationship with these parts of ourselves. And I just think about how we're imperfect in our own real life relationships with dear friends and families. So
true.
yeah, so that's what's coming up.
We're in the honeymoon stage,
The
but
honeymoon stage. Yeah.
yeah, but we still have some ways to go.
Yeah.
Shall we take a look at the comments? Do you mind if we pause and we just catch
Go ahead.
up? Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me just see where I was last. Okay. Uh, okay. So Miss Marilyn Darling says, I have so many notebooks from reviewing, but most of them are not great, but I can use them for junk journaling. I just have to get around to doing it. Yes. Junk journaling is so fun. Because I recently rejoined Instagram, the algorithm seems to have figured out that I really enjoy consuming junk journaling content. So I am constantly being served, and it is, I love it.
Mhm.
Hope says, I love your Patreon idea, Allison, re-gifting. Thank you. Are you referring to the community, what did I call it? Community sticker exchange? I think that's what I called it. Or anyway, that is something that I really am hoping to do. I it was another thing that I just decided I'm trying to do. It's not something that I'm wanting people to have to spend money to do, but it's really meant to encourage people to share some of the stickers and the washi and all the different things they have. Um, because I don't know, for me personally, sometimes I just want to try some new like PET tape, but I don't want to buy a whole roll. And I know you can buy samples, but the idea that we could kind of exchange seemed like a really fun idea. So I'm still figuring out the logistics of it. It's not something that I'm expecting anyone to have to spend money to take part in. I'm just hoping to facilitate it somehow. Um, Hope says, "Oh my God, such a gorgeous pen." Yes, we all agree. Um, and Miss Marilyn Darling said it was so fun that I hadn't had so much awe in that in a very long time. Oh, I think this is in relation to the artist date. I think it's a good reminder that it's good. Like it's another good reminder to do these um, excursions for your dates and to go see things outside your home. And I'm speaking to myself right now.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
Okay. And then Miss Marilyn Darling said the day was perfect. It was not too hot. I was super nice. And the travel was super nice. Okay. And then I understand that you have to be vague about the way you tell your lives online, but I could have used more input. Everyone I was watching doing the artist way was quite vague. I felt like I couldn't figure out what might have a suggestion that I could use.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean, just to be honest with myself, as the weeks wore on, I put less effort. I think there was a little bit of fatigue setting in. I wasn't doing as many official artist dates. So, at least for me, if you were thinking that maybe some of my artist dates were a little vague, it's because I didn't really have a lot of excursions. So I was quite inspired. I was inspired by you, Miss Marilyn, just by going out to the museums. That is something that I want to do. And I talking about being in relationship with my creative self, I'm like, okay, that's something that I want to really continue to develop. So, I mean, you're not wrong. At least for me, the reason why I've been a little vague is because I really struggled to prioritize it, to make it like something official that I blocked out on my calendar. So,
Hmm.
um, as far as something, I'm sure we're going to talk about this too a little bit later of like how we're going to continue or how our lives will what we plan on doing from the artist's way, kind of moving forward. But at least for me, one thing is I want to really try to commit to doing a monthly artist date. Um,
Hmm.
Whatever it is, if it's going to be something as small as like just drawing or fiddling around with paints for an hour or two, at least commit to putting it on the calendar. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'm endeavoring to do.
That's really that's concrete, and what I like about that is the fact that you're being realistic about what you can realistically commit to. I
Mhm.
think with the artist way, um, I think we both started off really strong. We did do a lot of the tasks. I know for myself, I did the artist date. Like I was very strict with it. I mean, it wasn't always an excursion, but I always made sure that one happened during the week. But over time, it just didn't feel sustainable. And I know some might say that's the point. Like it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be a challenge. Um, but I don't know. It was either like I adjust and adapt and make accommodations for myself, or I I stop doing it.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
love that now that we have a little more space to be um, less prescriptive and more creative with how we want to engage with it. I suppose we could have done that throughout. And I think if we ever did this again, that's probably the first thing that I would say is like, doesn't have to be 12 weeks, build in rest weeks, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think I agree. I think maybe some of it was a bit vague because we were struggling. I think if we were to listen back to some of the recordings, I think we would start off a lot of them with this was a really hard week.
Yeah. A lot of life. Yeah, on
Yeah.
top of really committing to the artist's way.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Hope
Hey,
Hope Murray is asking, like, what did you make for your pottery classes? And she just started her
that's so exciting. Okay, well, I only did one class. I will admit and be transparent. It was called like a taster class, because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. But I'd be curious to know what classes you're taking, Hope. So the taster that I took was a wheel, like a wheel throwing pottery class, and um, because it was a taster, we were only given like so much clay, and basically we were encouraged to make bowls or shallow dishes. I think that was pretty much all we could make. So yeah, that's what we did. I just learned how to like use the wheel. And I did end up making a cup and a a bowl, but I'm putting it in quotes because it was lopsided. So I ended up making a spout for it. Anyway, it's going to be ready to be picked up in probably a few weeks. So I will share a photo of it when I get it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
that's what I did.
I can't wait to see the photo. I'm
Yeah, I'm a little I mean, I'm not nervous because I was a beginner. It was my first time, but I'm
Mhm.
wondering if it'll be usable, is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's such a process, isn't it? Because like here you are thinking you're gonna make a bowl, not knowing that you're eventually gonna put a spout to it. But yeah, you just never know what the final outcome will be.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even going into the class, I wanted to make I like to drink out of my big mugs. So I wanted to make a really big mug with a really comfortable handle, and then I wanted to paint a cute design on the outside. And as soon as we got there, she was like, "That's not a one day thing because I guess you have to wait to put a handle on a cup, and also you need a lot more clay." So maybe that's what I would do if I went back.
Wow.
Okay, Miss Marilyn Darling says outspoken. Yeah, outspoken. I think is what I was thinking. Allison, that is how I feel. I feel like I have so much to say, and sometimes I feel like I'm shouting into the void, but eventually it happens. I get to chat with people and share.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for sharing that. It does feel sometimes like you're shouting into the void. So the fact that you're still doing it makes it even more meaningful. And it's good that eventually you're able to connect with people. Like that's a thing that it's a really good reminder that if you feel called or compelled to share, just share. I don't know. Does that is that simplifying it too much?
No, I mean it's true. If you feel like you have something that you want to say, it is better to be able to say it. I mean, of course. Okay, well, this is like another tangent. We don't have to go we won't go down that rabbit hole, but it is just thinking about, yeah, having the like discerning or gauging, yeah, what do I want to say? Is it something that is towards truth and empowerment, or anyway, yeah, there's that whole other track, but
Hmm.
um
Okay. Okay, and then Miss Marilyn Darling says courage. Building courage is like a muscle. You have to keep using it and it will get easier over time. Yes. I really appreciate that reminder.
mhm.
try not to hold myself back as much as I used to. Um, Anna says, I feel that the artist way is a way to organize our thoughts, to chew on the different ideas and identify the ones that stick, and now action on that desire to actually pursue those dreams and goals. Yeah, that makes me think of all the decluttering we were doing and all the organizing we were doing. And I agree, like a lot of the tasks did were a lot of like thought experiments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, what comes to mind for me, are a couple things. I mean, Anna, you're totally right about, how the artist's way was, an invitation to organize our thoughts. I do think that a lot of the exercises were such, effective thought experiments,
Mhm.
um, and what I've realized is how indispensable and how indispensable the morning pages have been, how crucial they were um, to bring me into, like, confrontation and contact with some things, some thoughts and feelings that I had also set to the side. Yeah, the decluttering and creating space for my creative self in the tangible, uh, in the tangible way, but also internally with all of, like, the thoughts that I had, that felt so true, that were painful, that were uncomfortable. I really had to pay attention to them. The morning pages did not give me an escape. Um,
Mm.
I love how Julia Cameron did encourage us to just, if it feels like we have nothing in our thoughts, nothing to say, nothing to write, then you just repeat that phrase. I have nothing to say, I have nothing to write, nothing's coming to mind. And it is true. She says that at a certain point you come to the end of that and then you start to, then these new thoughts and feelings emerge and you just start writing that. And that's what happened for me. Um and so it reminds me, the second thing that it reminds me is just this 5-minute video that popped up on my YouTube feed, from the Harvard Business Review. It's by Arthur C. Brooks. He's like a social scientist, and the title of the video is like, "You should get bored," or like, "Boredom is good. Why boredom is good for you." And basically, what he was mentioning is that, social media can be very distracting. Our phones are very distracting. There's so many things that we do to distract ourselves when we feel like we're hitting on something uncomfortable, and we don't really get to those places unless we feel bored. And so anyway, like, what he's saying is you should get bored, or you should, because when you get bored, you start to confront some uncomfortable thoughts. So I don't know if the morning pages is necessarily boring, but what it does is, like, it really makes me confront some of those thoughts that I just neglect. If I
Mhm.
have something uncomfortable, then I go straight to my phone. But anyway, so I do have some thoughts and some feelings to what Anna was saying about chewing different ideas, identifying the ones that stick. And those important, necessary feelings and thoughts really do stick,
Mhm.
and they continue to with the artist's way.
I love that. And if I may add, I know I want to do a time check and acknowledge that we have about 6 minutes left. So I'll just say really quickly, I love the idea of the morning pages helping and the connection to boredom. And I would also add that I I like that because it forces you to confront things, it is a really great tool to allowing you to stay in whatever feeling that you're feeling, like whether it's boredom, whether it's anxiety, whether it's fear or anger or whatever. Um, that is, I have found it really indispensable to like process a feeling because I had a moment where I wasn't doing morning pages for a little while after we finished. And then I was having a lot of trouble like doing work for the day, basically. And it was so, like, it really stood out to me where one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do my morning pages. I've been skipping them in favor of jumping into work, but I'm just going to do it. And I was able to work through something that had been weighing on me just by writing it out. And like I know this, but also like just it's one thing to know it and then it's another thing to actually experience it. And I actually said to my partner, I said, look, um, I've learned like in my training that it's better to process something than to avoid it. So I think that if I just let myself have this day where I sit, I process, I let myself be upset, then by tomorrow I'll be fine. And it doesn't always work that way, but it worked exactly like that way. So I really appreciate you bringing that up, and I think um, yeah, it really has been, it renewed my desire to continue with doing my journaling in the morning, whether you call it morning pages or whatever, because it really does, it can be really helpful in chewing on different ideas, identifying, but also just like getting through those really like difficult moments and processing. I
Mhm.
apologize for the tangent, but you just sparked that
Mhm.
reminder that I wanted to share because it was really meaningful for me.
Mm. So good. The importance of paying attention and then processing. Yeah, trusting the process of processing. Oh, well, okay, so I'm looking on our chat here. Anna was saying, "Oh, you're reading here. I didn't know where were the messages you were reading." So I'm realizing there's a function on here where it says I can show the comments, and it seems like the chat isn't able to read all everyone else's comments.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on.
okay.
Every live stream, we're getting better and better.
I know we learned something new.
Yeah, something to new to learn. Okay, we're nearing the end here. I'm curious, like just something to add as far as like moving forward. What are some uh like anything from the artist way that you're gonna take with you as you continue?
Is it too easy to say the morning pages?
I don't think so.
I um yeah, just for the interest of time, I think I'll say the morning pages, but I think maybe I'll add the artist dates, or just the, maybe I'll call it the artist moments, because date just feels like such a big word. And yeah, when I think back to the 12 weeks and I think about all of the art art things that I initiated, um I do think that gave me back a spark. And the structure of that, and having all of you and having Leanne to talk to every week, really gave me a boost. So I'm going to try to hang on to that feeling for as long as I can. How
Mm.
about for you?
First of all, I love how you call it artist moments. Yeah, artist dates, it feels so loaded or official, but to call them artist moments, I like it. And I like how I can call them AMs. Morning pages, AMs, whatever it might be. But yeah, I think the artist dates, the artist moments, those were crucial, like a way to kind of kickstart the process. I needed that encouragement from the book and also the accountability
Mm.
as we've all been doing it together. But I could see why there are so many videos about the morning pages. It's because it is that um, effective. It is that like transformative if you stick to it and if you do it on a regular basis. Um, it's not an easy, it's not that it's the easy answer, it's that it's like the most transformative part. And I
Mm.
think of it really as like reconnecting with your inner self, and then the maintaining the relationship with your inner creative self is like the artist moments. So
Mhm.
yeah, Heather's also says I like the artist moments better than the dates. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, well let's manifest many more artist moments for all of us. Um I guess we're at time, but I feel like there's so many more comments that we didn't get a chance to respond to. So maybe we'll follow up with some of them in our group chat, because yeah, we don't want to miss any of them. Thank you everyone for spending a part of your day with us, and just for being with us for these last 12 weeks. I know we've said it a lot, but I we couldn't have done it without your encouragement, because there were many weeks where we definitely questioned our sanity. So it's been really nice to reconnect with all of you.
Oh my gosh, yes. And as you said that, Allison, it reminds me of the races when you run and how much it matters to have people on the sidelines cheering you on. You run faster, you're motivated to cross the finish line. There are
Yes.
times, yeah, where there's nobody along the nobody along the route, and how discouraging or alone you might feel. But when you have people there cheering you on, you
Handing
feel
you water.
giving you water, giving you high fives. Yeah,
Yeah.
it means a lot. Yeah.
Um, Hope maybe a catch up next month. I wouldn't put it past us. I would totally be open to it.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, thank you. Like Heather E, Miss Marilyn Darlin, Anna, Hope, Home to Heather, Obi, Nancy. I mean, I know there are people that I'm probably Emily, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, stay tuned. We will keep you updated. We definitely don't want to end the conversation here. But yeah, I guess we'll we'll end it for now just to keep on time. But thanks again, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.